Please note that the screen recording of BLEACH Rebirth of Souls here was initially recorded at 30 FPS because that's the cap of the screen recorder that I use. But when I edited it, of course I upscaled it to 60 FPS, so just know that it's not native 60, don't judge the FPS of the game based on the footage that I'm going to show you. So first of all, thank you to all the BLEACH Brave Souls players, the community. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't get a new BLEACH game. 1000 Year Blood War would probably not have been made without your support. So thanks to all of you guys for keeping the BLEACH IP alive. This video will be going through the basics of the game because I would like to welcome non-BLEACH fans to the game as well. And mostly because I want the game to succeed. I want more DLCs, I want the 1000 Year Blood War to be included and stuff like that. Because for this game, for the base game, it would only be including the start of the series to the end of the Arankar arc. So when Aizen was defeated. Alright. First off, Reishi. So Reishi, in a traditional fighting game sense, this would just be your character's HP bar on top. The large bar right there. And then you also have your Konpakus, which are the set of lives that you have in each clash. So Konpakus, the maximum number that have been shown is 9 for all characters. They all have 9 Konpakus. You can think of this as sort of a round counter. So in a traditional fighting game, you have like the first round, the second round, then the third round if you make it that far. So in this game, in BLEACH Rebirth of Souls, the maximum number of Konpakus that you can destroy in one go, in one super move, which is called the Kikon move, so that's what you use to destroy the Konpakus or sort of end the round in a sense. It's a finishing move for that round. So the maximum number that I have seen that you can destroy in one go is 5, and the minimum number that you can destroy in one Kikon move, in one super move, is 3. So it's 3, 4, or 5, depending on what you use, or depending on what the character actually has. So let's say that you and your opponent are kind of evenly matched, and you're taking one round each every time. So the maximum number of rounds that you will get will be 5, and the minimum number of rounds would be 3. So for the Kikon move or the finishing move, you can only use this once you have depleted your opponent's HP bar or Reishi bar. And below your HP bar is also your guard gauge. So there is, of course, guarding in this fighting game, but it can be broken, so you can't really just spam guard. And there's also Flash Step, which is sort of a teleport move or a high speed move that essentially teleports you behind your opponent's character to catch them off guard. So they can't guard from that, even if their guard gauge is still full. There is also the Spiritual Power gauge for your Spiritual Pressure move, and essentially these are skills that you can use to further inflict damage on your opponent's HP or Reishi bar. And the reverse action is, as it implies, sort of when your back's against the wall. So there are 3 types. There is Soul Reverse, which is white, which increases spiritual power and recovers Reishi or HP. So it's sort of a buff to deal more damage and last longer in battle. Then there is also Chain Reverse, which is yellow, which continues combos and increase spiritual power. So sort of a combo extender. And Burst Reverse, which is blue, which cancels opponent's combos and recovers guard gauge. So there are a lot of mechanics within the game for you to get out of a tight spot, and another one is the Awaken state. So the Fighting Spirit gauge right below your character's icon on the top left or on the top right for your opponent that's the fighting spirit gauge, which is when it's full, you can go to your awakened state. So the awakened state for the Shinigamis, the guys wearing black, is their Bankai. Then the guys that are wearing mostly white with black lines are the Arankars, so they have their resurrection. Anyway, it'll be generally referred to as the awakened state, which has a variety of effects actually from character to character. So it's not really it adds to the depth of the game in my opinion, which is very cool. One thing that I really like is that it's faithful to the anime, where once you're in your awakened state, even if you're losing or even if you're being defeated, you won't actually go back to your unreleased state. So that's pretty cool. Once you're in your awakened state, you'll be in your awakened state for the rest of the game. And generally, it enhances your skills, your damage output, but there are also other effects that's unique for each character. So they will be very fun to explore, to try out. Essentially, once you're in your awakened state, you will be able to deal more damage to your enemies, and you will also your Kikon moves, your finishing moves, will also consume more Konpakus from your opponent. So that's pretty cool because essentially you're taking more rounds away. All in all, I don't think Bandai Namco is doing a great job marketing this game. There's so much depth here. For a game with so many new things, for a fighting game that's bringing so many new things to a fighting game, crazy effects, crazy skill effects. It shows they are showing very little. I can't figure it out. And with the reverse action, the reason why I didn't even reference other games is because I don't think there is any reference for a reverse action in other fighting games. I'm not sure. Maybe Heat from Tekken 8. Maybe, but there are 3 different types. Reverse action has 3 different types. They all have different effects, and they're very hard to figure out because when the fights actually happen in the game, so far from what they've shown, it's very fast. I can't really figure it out. I can't figure out what type of reverse action they use in this game. So, or how much, like, say, a soul reverse increases spiritual power. There are 3 bars. Do you gain 1 bar? Do you gain half? Do you gain 1/4 of a bar? I don't know, because they really have to market this better. I want the game to succeed. I want the 1000-Year Blood War DLC. They're obviously going to do it because they're releasing some costumes for characters whose movesets didn't really change after, like, the buff they get from. It's all part of the story. Anyway, thank you for listening, and I hope we get a playable demo on Steam, on PlayStation, on Xbox, because this is a new fighting game, a new entry. It has very unique mechanics. I believe it has very in-depth combat as well. Once we get our hands on it, it releases March of next year. I think March 21, maybe. I'll pin it below. But hopefully this got even non-Bleach fans interested in the game to try and check it out. I'm not going to advocate for any pre-orders because I'm against pre-orders in general. So just keep up to date with the game. Hopefully they release a demo, and I can't wait for the next character they show actually. Have a good one.